The judgment in the Sabarimala case has been reserved by India's apex court. Earlier, the amicus curiae K. Ramamurthy argued that matters of religious faith cannot be decided by any test. India's Supreme Court is hearing a petition lifting the ban on the entry of women inside the temple. The judgment has for now been reserved in the Sabarimala case. Remember, this has been a row that has been raging on for several months now. There have been several women's rights activists who have been contesting the claim that has been made by the temple authorities that women cannot be allowed inside. Earlier, K. Ramamurthy had argued that matters of religious faith cannot be decided by any test. In fact, India's Supreme Court is hearing a petition seeking the lifting of the ban on the entry of women inside that temple. As per the latest that's coming in, the judgment has been reserved in that crucial Sabarimala case. Let's go straight across to our correspondent, Jessica Taneja, who's getting us more details. What's the latest coming in from court, Jessica?
Well, Molly, as you pointed out, the court has reserved its judgment in this crucial case that went on for 3 weeks continuously, and we heard both the petitioners as well as the Temple Authority Board also argue in the case. Well, today was an important day because the amicus curiae came to court and he said that the court shouldn't be interfering in the religious aspect of this case, but the state can obviously interfere in the secular aspects, but not when it comes to the temple's religious aspects. So that is one of the things that was submitted by the amicus curiae. But the important argument that has been presented by Indra Jaising in the past with this case has been, even today when she said that if Harijans can be allowed to enter temple, why not women? And what we've seen from the court previously observed in this matter as well, when the Chief Justice Deepak Mishra as well as D.Y. Chandrachud, who had made these comments in court, were saying that when women can be allowed in workforce along with men, why does the temple prohibit that? So important observations coming in from the court even in the past, and now that the judgment has been reserved, we'll wait for what it happens and whether it will allow women to finally enter the Sabarimala temple.
All right, that matter had reached the apex court after several women's rights activists right in the very beginning had contested the claim that was made by the temple authorities. We're going to leave it there for the moment. Jessica Taneja, thanks very much for those details. Now, just for the benefit of our viewers, taking a step back and establishing what this entire controversy is all about, the Sabarimala temple in the southern Indian state of Kerala has been caught in that controversy over the ban on women from offering prayers inside the temple. Today, the Supreme Court has heard that issue. In fact, WION's Jessica Taneja explains in this next report what this ban is all about and the rationale behind it.
The Lord Ayyappa temple of Sabarimala in Kerala is the second largest seasonal pilgrimage after the Islamic holy site of Mecca in Saudi Arabia. While women are allowed to offer prayers inside the holy site of Mecca, women of an age to menstruate are restricted from entering the temple, as its presiding deity, Lord Ayyappa, is considered to be a celibate. And it emanates from the belief that Lord Ayyappa is a perennial celibate. Dressed in black, devotees flock the Sabarimala temple, irrespective of their caste, creed or religion. Critics argue banning menstruating women violates their fundamental rights.
There is absolute prohibition of any discrimination for women, specifically with regard to entry in religious places. We see a lot of, an entire narrative is being made that fundamental rights of women have to give way when it comes to personal rights of religion. That is not the case.
The temple says Lord Ayyappa at Sabarimala is unique and he is a celibate, and he doesn't want the presence of women aged between 10 and 50 because that would affect his penance. The temple authorities also argue that women cannot put up with the physical hardship, austerity and days of celibacy like men. And a not-for-profit organization by the name of People for Dharma claims that this exclusion is not discrimination.
We need to strike a distinction between diversity of religious places of worship and the concept of discrimination. When there are enough temples and enough examples from within the state of Kerala itself, where there are severe restrictions with respect to the entry of men into such religious places of worship, their participation in religious activities in those places of worship, especially when there are exalted statuses bestowed upon female deities and special treatment given to women devotees, it makes very little sense to focus on Sabarimala as some bizarre, peculiar example where women are kept out on purpose, and that too on the basis of some kind of misogynistic reasons.
India's Supreme Court, however, has made it clear that the ban of entry of women in the age group of 10 to 50 years into the Sabarimala temple would be tested on constitutional ethos. The Apex Court has asked the temple board to establish that the restriction is an essential and integral part of religious faith. While societies continue to allow menstrual discrimination to exist in some form or the other, this particular case highlights the conflict of worshipping rites versus age-old tradition. All eyes now are on the Supreme Court of India. This is Jessica Taneja with video journalist Ankit Singh for WION in New Delhi.